Get over here. You thought you were done with me. What's going on? I literally was getting ready to go to bed, and it could wait, right? I was like, Stefon Diggs got traded to the Bills. This could wait, is what I thought. And then I was like, wait a minute. That means the Eagles can't get Stefon Diggs. And I was like, what did he go for? This or that. So we're gonna hit you up one last time here. Break it down. The Buffalo Bills trading for Stefon Diggs. Now, let's be honest. Okay, first of all, get it out of the way. The Bills are my sleeper team last year. I blessed the Bills with being my sleeper team. I'm 3 for 3 the last 3 years. And so I enjoy watching the Bills play. They're the closest team to Canada. I like anyone that's not the Patriots in the division. So yada, yada, yada. From a player standpoint, I'm glad the Buffalo Bills got a player of Stefon Diggs' caliber. I am not a Josh Allen truther, but I do think Josh Allen is not as bad as people think. That being said, this very much seems like this is the Minnesota Vikings giving a middle finger to Stefon Diggs, because that's pretty much, you send a player to a place like Buffalo in a trade. That's the team picking potentially the biggest hellhole for you to go to. So I know that's a little bit of a slap in the face to the Buffalo. That's what it is. That is what this is. I guarantee there were bigger, better teams in terms of city, right, in glamour. Because, I mean, hell, Bills made the playoffs last year. They're a good team that wanted him. And the Minnesota Vikings probably were like, you know what? We're getting great value from Buffalo, and we're going to stick his ass in Buffalo. You know, it's that LaShawn McCoy thinking when he left Philly. So now that's out the way. Sense a little bit of saltiness that he didn't go to the Eagles. Understanding what the Buffalo Bills paid here. They have paid a first, fourth, fifth, and sixth. So essentially, they traded I don't want to just say they traded a draft, because you having a 2 and 3. You can have getting impactful players with a 2 and a 3. But they essentially traded like most of a draft for one player. Little pricey, especially seeing that DeAndre Hopkins, who is a way better wide receiver than Stefon Diggs, went for essentially like a 2 and a 4. You get a 1, 4, 5, and 6 from a guy that's like, 26? So he's like a year or two younger than DeAndre Hopkins. And I guess you could say questionably has had more some off the field personality things, more outspoken than, say, DeAndre Hopkins. But it's a weird way of looking at it, right? Because ultimately you're the Buffalo Bills, and you're probably not gonna get a guy like this in free agency, right? You're probably not gonna attract these guys that want to go to like the places with the tax havens or a bigger city. So this is your way of getting a big-time baller wide receiver that's going to help take your offense to the next level. Because you've watched the Buffalo Bills, you can just see they are a playmaker or two away from being there. Right now you got John Brown for the pure deep threat, Diggs that can do everything, and Cole Beasley in the slot, Dawson Knox. We just did the rebuild for the Buffalo Bills. All these guys should be somewhat familiar in your dome pieces. So if you're looking at it from a Buffalo standpoint, did I think they paid too much? Yes. But do I think Stefon Diggs is exactly the kind of player that they should get? Yes. And when you look at what they gave up, though, the Buffalo Bills, I thought the Buffalo Bills the last 3 years have been one of the best drafted teams. You look back 3 years. We started here. 2017. They got Trey White, Zay Jones, Deion Dawkins, Peterman, Matt Milano, and Tanner Vallejo. You could argue, obviously Zay Jones the second is not great, but you could argue that's not a bust. But they got Trey White, Deion Dawkins, Matt Milano. They got 3 starters in 2017. You go to 2018, they got Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, Harrison Phillips, Teron Johnson, Wyatt Teller, who was a starter. They ended up trading him. He's still a starter. They got Austin Pearl 316, which is great. But again, another draft that their first 3-4 picks are guys that are going to be important and influential on their team. Then you look at last year: Ed Oliver, Cody Ford, Devin Singletary, Dawson Knox, Vosha. I still think last year all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8 or 9 of those picks are going to be guys that are going to be contributors. So I think the Buffalo Bills have drafted very well the last 3 years. And I would not take light of losing a first, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And those essentially, given how they've drafted, that is like 3 starters worth of guys, if we're just grading the last couple years, to get a Stefon Diggs, who, who's going to know about the contract? It could be, I don't want to wish the whole Antonio Brown thing that happened last season on you guys, where, they got him and then he's going to retire, whatever really happened. I don't know what the contract status is with Diggs, if Diggs is even going to re-up with the Buffalo Bills. This could be a rental until his contract is up, which I don't know how long that actually is. Let's Google it right here live. Go to his contract, being very professional, because I'm literally just decided to do this last second. Is it 3 years left in his deal? 1, 2, 3, 4 years left in his deal. Oh, no, that's not bad then. 4, he's 26, so we have him to he's 30. So from that standpoint, I mean, from a job security standpoint, he's not gonna like, it's not like a sign and bail on you. So again, for the Buffalo Bills, it's they break even. I think they break even. And then you look at the Minnesota Vikings. As soon as the player didn't want to be there, Kirk Cousins got that contract. He started making a bunch of cryptic tweets and shit all day long. And then the Vikings, if they knew he was damaged goods, he wasn't coming back, disgruntled player, they wanted him out the building. You still got Thielen, right? Still got a very nice. You still have a legit. You had 2 wide receiver ones, and now you just got 1 wide receiver one. Most teams, Philadelphia, don't even have that. So you're still good there, and you get a first round, a 4th, a 5th, and a 6th. So you got a beautiful amount of picks to help continue to get younger. This is a team, too, with the Minnesota Vikings. Get a lot of salary cap, so they're going to benefit from being able to get a bunch of guys. Hopefully they hit on more than they don't on rookie contracts. Help build that team. Help build that team around Kirk Cousins, who has an ungodly amount of money, and you got contracts coming up in the next year or so for Dalvin Cook, who's probably going to get one. I mean, you never know. That guy has, knock on wood, has had some injury history, but you would assume he's going to get a new contract. Guys on the defense, too, probably are going to be looking for deals sooner than later. So, who won? Tell you who didn't win. The goddamn Philadelphia Eagles. With the Hargrave move, I gave the benefit of the doubt. It's like, all right, that's not the exciting, flashy pick, but it's a pick that's good. Can we get something flashy? Can we get something exciting before we get into the draft? And I thought Diggs is really it. I mean, you look at wide receivers, it looks like Amari Cooper is going back to Dallas for $100 million. What? Where are they getting this money from? Don't really care. He doesn't play on the road anyways, but Amari Cooper's off the market. Stefon Diggs is off the market. If you're looking for a wide receiver, who's left? Who's left that would get the blood going? Like Brashad Perriman, I don't think that'd be a terrible deal, but I don't know if I would sign on that versus, just gambling that we can find a stud wide receiver in the draft that can give us the same kind of production. But if you look at the available wide receivers that are left, there's not much. But Robbie Anderson, and you don't want to get Robbie Anderson on 10, 12, 11 million. That guy hasn't even got over 1,000 years. I get a deep threat, right? You're paying for the deep threat, but the production hasn't been there, and you're gambling that you can get him to finally produce. So it's a big risk. There's no wide receivers. I guess what I'm saying is Darius Slay. That's how we can get the blood pumping for this free agency period. I mean, I wouldn't be too pissed with like a Logan Ryan or Chris Harris, I suppose, if we can get that done tomorrow. But I guess in terms of excitement, Diggs is now off the table as an Eagle fan. And maybe you can have a pipe dream that we can find a way to land Darius Slay. But what do you guys feel about this trade? Who do you think won? Do you think the Vikings got robbed? Do you think the Bills got robbed? Do you think the Bills fleeced who? Let me know in the comment section below. But we'll be back tomorrow with regular content. I'm sure some of these more videos sprinkled in the way as the NFL free agency period and trades continue to heat up. So thank you guys for watching. First time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one. Peace out.